Hey guys, welcome to another episode. I am already a disgusting, horrible mess. I've been wire wheeling parts and pieces and frankly it's gotten all over me. But this is all in anticipation of doing a motor, our Subaru EJ25 swap project into our bus here. We're going to make this engine with the transmission, we're going to put them together, and we're going to do a preliminary test fit today. Our friend Yogi over at Yogi's Garage, I'll make sure to put a link in the description for his channel with his Porsche restoration. We are able to use his automotive ATV lift kind of thing. It's wider and easier to use, and trying to balance all this on a standard jack. So thank you to him for letting us borrow that. But today we're going to put these two together. We're going to put the engine and the transmissions over there on the bench. We're going to get that brought over. We're going to mate them together and see what we can come up with. We do have the transmission mounts, but we just do not have a engine mount. So we're going to be kind of using this lift to help us keep it up, and probably put a strap under it and try and see leveling it, centering it, all that good stuff. We're just going to be doing a good rough test fit because we are going to be ordering one of the motor mounts that are already pre-made for us. I don't trust my welding skills, so we're going to get one of those. So enough talking, let's jump in, let's get these put together and start putting in the bus. It actually went really well. It's centered on there on this lift really well. It's got, you know, more stability than a normal jack. So what we've got is the transmission on both sides is touching, and the motor mounts on both sides are touching. Granted, it is just a little bit, but it's enough to keep it stable and better than on, you know, like the red one. So it's got more surface area. We're gonna get this engine hoist up out of the way. Then we'll probably jack up the bus to see. We're gonna have to, granted that'll go down, but we're gonna have to lift up the bus a little bit to get it underneath there, and then get it up and see what it looks like in there for the very first time. Note to self, don't put a jack on carpet. This was really hard to pull without tipping it. That's better. I'm gonna have to swing out a little bit more. Nice and easy. So we're going to bring this down. Oh man, is that as low as it goes? Great. Yeah, look how much higher we're still going to have to get the bus. Yeah, we still need, you know, a few inches. Yeah. Well, we're going to have to get this a little bit higher and get the jacks to go a little higher as well. And I'm really hoping that my floor jack can get it that high. If I get underneath the frame, I think I'll be able to get it high enough, and I'll put the locks in my stands and we'll get it nice and tall just to get it in there, and then we can probably bring it down a little bit. But I don't know, maybe this thing will make up the difference and we can get it up there. It all comes down to getting the transmission mounts set, the ones on the top and the ones at the tail end. Make sure those are secured, and then we'll probably take like a ratchet strap underneath the engine where the engine mounts are, and see if we can hook them in the actual mustache bar locations on the side to help hold it up too. It's just going to be a lot of up, down, up, down, up, down. The super fun stuff. So, well, up we go. All right, so we finally got it high enough here where we're barely gonna clear some of our emissions stuff. I'll make sure we got everything out of the way and see how it goes here. Barely. Like a hair more and we would have been in trouble. Alright, let's see if we can get some adjustment here, because our transmission is off to the left just a little bit. But the biggest thing is that we're in here now. I can actually take this handle off for now. Now we can have a little bit more freedom of movement here. Alright, I think we're getting close. Let me show you guys where we're at. So you can kind of see down there those two notches. My light doesn't really help, but those two little D-shaped notches there, that's what we're trying to get our transmission to mount to. It kind of goes up from there. We definitely have it too far because our gear selector at the end actually mounts up there, so it has to kind of come up and in. But we've got plenty of space here in the front, so we're just making some room and some adjustments here, little tweaks here and there. Keep my light on. And we'll see how much closer we can get. Then we can start slowly cranking it up and seeing how it turns out. So here we are under the bus, and some good sign is we got these perfectly lined up, and we can see that our, get some light on it, our shifter linkage is basically in the spot. So we're hoping to, if I can get you guys down here, y'all see? Maybe not. How about now? Yes? No. Right here is where we're looking, so you can see now. So I'm going to take these as I'm dangling upside down here. Get these started up, our rear mount. This took a lot of patience, but it's going to be really exciting to see the engine inside of the bus for the first time. So let's see if we can run these in a little bit. Alright, well those are in there. I seem to be back as far as I need to go. And those are our reverse lights. Wiring goes here. So that's exciting, and it looks like our coupler just needs a little bit of adjustment up front, and it should attach right there. So the next thing is we're going to go back up to the front and see if we can get those front transmission mounts. There's two on top of the bell housing. We've got to snake our way around and see if we can get those in there. So what we're shooting for is right here. There's one of a kind of a welded on nut there and another one there. If you can see it, the white light doesn't wash you out. And we've got to get the transmission lifted just a little bit more in that gap, and then we should be able to slide our bolts through, and then we can put something underneath the engine and remove the jack. Alright, so the top transmission mounts are in. It's really hard to see even with the light, but I promise back there they are installed. So the last thing holding this in is the jack. So what I want to do is get like a high rated ratchet strap, go underneath the pan here and up around, and see if we can hook it into the mustache bar holes that are here. I don't want to do it on any of the sheet metal, so we may be using some of these, put a bolt in there like an eye bolt and hook it there. I don't know, but I really want to get this jack out, and I want to see how it looks and drop the bus down completely and see where it rests and put a level on here and see how level it is and how it looks. So let's get something rigged up here, temporary, permanent, temporary, and we'll get this out. So we try to use the bolt holes on the side for the mustache bar, but they were just so far forward that as soon as you would tighten the strap, it would just slip out from under the oil pan and not do anything. So we have the holes on the back, just kind of like air holes, hose holes, I don't know, speed holes, that's what we're gonna call them. Speed holes. We hook the strap through there, and we do have it tight around the oil pan and back around the other side underneath the other cylinder head, and latched in the other side. So this is gonna be the moment of truth here, and see if we can slowly lower this and it'll stay up. Alright, the jack is free. So what I'm going to do is I'm still going to keep it underneath it, but I want to get the bus down to the ground. So we're going to have to kind of just do this a little bit at a time. Look at these safeties. Well, what are you doing here? Oh, I guess it's a safety catch. Fancy. All right, that is up there, and it's solid. So let's get our red jack to get these jack stands out, and then let's bring it down. Well, we're on the ground, and that oil pan is a little low for my liking, but you know, I guess if you think about it, the original Volkswagen one was only up to probably where the oil filter was, but we're looking for, maybe we'll shorten that, get a shortened oil pan and a shortened pickup tube, you know, to avoid scraping that sucker off. And if you add a pan guard on top of that, then you're looking at, you know, an extra inch or so being lower, and I don't know. We'll play with that later, but it is officially in, held up by our awesome ratchet strap for now. And what I want to do next is take a level to it and see how level it is. But we can see there's a lot of room on the sides. It's just our wires, but there's daylight on the side here and really over here. And we'll take a look at the top. Yeah, it looks pretty good. This EGR is going to be in the way. You know, we're supposed to have our divider wall for our gas tank, so we'll have to figure something out for that. We may have to do an EGR delete on that. I'm not sure. That wouldn't be very hard to do. But otherwise, let's get a little 90-degree angle here, and we'll be able to take our air intake off, and they're off to the side. But yeah, we've got plenty of clearance in here with this engine, just the exception of that. But it looks really good, and tons of room in the front. You know, I can fit my whole hand in here for comparison. So looks really, really good. And let's take a look at the ride height here. Yeah, looks about normal. Probably a little heavier than it's used to, but those new shocks are in, so those are taking up that a little bit. But man, it looks so good. Pull that out, get a little bit more perspective of the clearance there. That's only probably 6 inches of clearance there, maybe a little bit more. Short oil pan would be nice, but a couple inches could make the difference between hitting and not hitting. Well guys, this is going to be the end of the episode. We have our Subaru engine fitting in our bus for the first time. That motorcycle ATV jack from Harbor Freight, thank you Yogi. That made this so much easier as a one-man job and safer. It's all about being safe as well. Now we have this temporary strap holding it up. We've got to get that engine mount ordered so we can have it shipped out, and then we can put it in properly. But it's holding it up just fine. We're not going to be doing anything crazy, and we can see how it's actually going to be riding. That oil pan is a little low. I would like to have a shortened one. I think that may be worth the investment. All it takes is something on the road, some road debris or something like that, to bounce up and dent the oil pan, and we're starving our engine that we've worked so hard to get running and put in here. So we'll be looking into that as well. But man, this is unreal. It went from an idea to research and reading and hours of wiring, and just here it is, all put together and in here. And we are very close to just installing a fuel system, the water cooling system. We're going to be doing that aluminum radiator underneath the bus, the belly mount, and we can fire it up and we can go for a test drive. We are this close. Oh, I'm telling you, it's unreal. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribing really helps out the channel, and you make sure you hit that notification bell so when new episodes come out, you get notified and you can check them out and stay up to date with the project and how we're going. We do still have some merch available. We've got a lot of those drink sleeves still left, only $5, and they're a good way to support the channel so we can keep this project going through that. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you.